Good morning everyone. How are you all? Hope all you are doing good. Welcome to our microeconomics class. Today we are going to discuss about the first chapter of microeconomics. What we are going to discuss in this chapter is first of all the definition of economics. Two branches of economics, that is microeconomics and macroeconomics. The central problems of the economy. Positive and normative economics. Then production possibility frontier. So all these things will be discussing in this first lesson. But before that, you must know some basic or some elementary concepts which are used very often in economics. Okay children, so let's move to it. Adam Smith is considered as the father of modern economics. Adam Smith defined economics as a science of wealth which studies the process of production, consumption and accumulation of wealth. His well-known work, An Inquiry into the Nature and the Cause of Wealth of Nation, is the first major comprehensive book on this subject. Before, economics was a part of political science, but later, in 1933, Professor Ragnar Frisch from Oslo University divided the subject matter of economics into two parts, that is, macroeconomics and microeconomics. So, these microeconomics and macroeconomics are the two different branches of economics. What is microeconomics? Microeconomics is a study of the behavior of individual unit of the economy, such as individual consumer behavior, individual producer behavior, individual firms, markets, etc. Whereas macroeconomics refers to the study of aggregates or entire economic system. It deals with the study of economic issues, economic problems at the level of an economy as a whole, such as aggregate demand and aggregate supply, national income, government budgets, etc. What is the difference between microeconomics and macroeconomics? Microeconomics, it deals with the economic issues related to small economic units, whereas macroeconomics deals with economic issues at the level of economy as a whole. Examples for microeconomics, individual household, individual consumers, etc. But examples for macroeconomics, aggregate demand, aggregate supply, etc. Study of macroeconomics assumes that micro variables remain constant, but the study of microeconomics assumes that macroeconomic variables remain constant. Then, before going deeply to the subject, you should have some awareness about some important economic terms which we are using often in economics. Which are they? Goods. By goods we mean physical tangible objects which are used to satisfy people's wants and needs. The term goods should be contrasted with the term services, which captures the intangible satisfaction of wants and needs. As compared to food items and clothes, which are examples of goods, we can think of the tasks that doctors and teachers perform for us as examples of services. Then, the next term is resource. By resource, we mean those goods and services which are used to produce other goods and services. For example, land, labor, tools, and machineries, etc. The next term we are often using in economics is scarcity. Scarcity is the state of being scarce or in short supply or shortage. By individual, we mean an individual decision-making unit. A decision-making unit can be a single person or a group like a household, a firm or any other organization. So these are some basic terms that you should know first. Okay children? Next is meaning of economics. Economics is a subject matter deals with the study of economic activities and economic issues or economic problems related to money or wealth. See, in this definition, 2 points are there. One is economic activity and the other is economic problems. What they are? Economic activities. All those human activities are called economic activities which are related to earnings of money or wealth. All those human activities are called economic activities which are related to earnings of money or wealth. Actually, we are engaged in some activities, right? Some are normal activities or some are economic activities. So economic activities are those which are related to earning of money, that is production activity, consumption activity, investment activity or distribution. The next is economic problems. Economic problems refers to the problem of choice or allocation. Human wants and desires are unlimited, but the resources used to fulfill our wants are limited or scarce in nature. Resources are not only scarce but have alternative uses as well. This leads to the problem of rational management of resources or allocation of resources. This problem of choice is called economic problem. See children, as we all know, our resources are limited or scarce, whereas our demands, human wants and demands are unlimited. So we can't fulfill all our needs or desires with these scarce resources. So always some of our wishes or desires are left or it's not fulfilled. So as because of the scarce resources, so what you have to do is the alternative uses of scarce resources. This time we have to make some choices. That means we have to choose which demand is fulfilled by our limited resources. So this choice is called the economic problems of an economy. The next is meaning of economy and economic problems. An economy is a system by which people get their living. An economic problem is basically the problem of choice which arises due to the scarcity of resources having alternative uses. So the economy is the sum total of all economic activities, that is consumption, production, exchange and distribution. So an economic problem is basically the problem of choice which arises due to the scarcity of resources having alternative uses. The next is what are the different causes of economic problems? There are three main reasons behind the economic problems. Which are they? Scarcity of resources, unlimited wants and limited resources having alternative uses. So these are the main three reasons behind the economic problems. What are the three important causes or major causes of economic problem? Scarcity of resources, unlimited wants and limited resources having alternative uses. Then what are the central economic problems? There are three major economic problems which can be defined as the central economic problem. Which are they? Allocation of resources, efficient utilization of resources, growth of resources. This allocation of resources include three things. That is what to produce, how to produce and for whom to produce. Let's start with what to produce. There are three problems arises in the allocation of resources. First one is what to produce. It is a problem of choosing which goods and services should be produced in what quantities. Then it is also related to the selection of goods, as all goods cannot be produced due to scarcity of resources. So these two things are coming under what to produce. That is the problem of choosing which goods and services should be produced in what quantities. And also the selection of goods, as all goods cannot be produced due to scarcity of resources. The second problem is how to produce. The second major central problem of an economy is how to produce. It is the problem of choosing techniques of production of goods and services. There are two techniques of production, that is labor intensive and capital intensive. Labor intensive means more laborers are preferred than machineries in the production field. But in the capital intensive means how to produce the things with the more capital goods. That means they in capital intensive means they are preferring more capital than laborers. And the third one is for whom to produce. That is the problem of for whom to produce refers to the distribution of goods and services produced in the economy. This is also called the problem of distribution of national income among the factors of production. So these are the three major problems arising in the allocation of resources. The next is the difference between positive and normative economics. Positive economics studies the economic issues with facts or truth related to present, past and future, but Normative economics studies the economic issues based on opinions. The statements of positive economics are what was, what is, and what would be. But at the same time, the normative economics, the statements are what ought to be. The examples for positive economics is government provided healthcare, increases public expenditure, etc. But examples for normative economics, government should provide basic healthcare to all citizens. Positive economics does not involve value judgment, but normative economics involves value judgment. Actually, these positive and normative economics are the two important aspects of economics. In positive economics or positive economic analysis, it deals with the problem as they are, because the positive economic based on the facts or truth. But the normative economic analysis, it's based on purely personal opinions. So in the positive economics, it deals with the problems as they are, whereas the normative economics, it deals with the problem as they should be. That means the positive economics based on the facts or truth, but the normative economics based on personal opinion. For example, there is a poverty in India. It's a positive economic analysis. Then what should be done by the government to remove this poverty from India? That is the example for normative economic analysis. So that's the end of today's session, and we have completed first part of the lesson. Watch the video more times if possible, then it will help you to learn the things thoroughly. And also you watch YouTube URL, and also you write down the notes and also file it. Send the answers for test questions. All these are attached for you separately. So children, learn the things, learn the lessons from the beginning itself. Let me remind you the quote, well begun is half done. Thank you children. Stay safe. Have a nice day.